Okay, so recording is started. Himan, so you can go now.
Thanks, Arshil. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Himanshu, and currently I'm in third year in Computer Engineering Department, and I am Flutter facilitator for Flutter as Festival this year. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's start this session. So, let me just share my PPT. Can you tell me whether screen is visible or not?
Yes, it's visible.
Thanks, Arshil. So, first of all, whenever we learn any new technology, we have three basic questions in our mind. Like, what is that technology? Why should I learn that technology? And how can I learn that technology? And today I will try to answer these three questions for you about Flutter. So let's start with the first question, that is, what is Flutter? So Flutter is an open source framework developed by Google, which is used for building beautiful natively compiled multi-platform applications. And the platform which are supported by Flutter are mobile, desktop, web, and embedded systems. So these we can develop use application for all these platforms using Flutter, and this and all from a single code base. I will cover more about this in later in this session. So this is what Flutter is. Now, as you can see, Flutter is Google's portable UI toolkit for building beautiful multi-platform applications. So with the Flutter, you can develop application for different platforms using a single code base. That means uh, you are writing code one time and you are getting apps for multiple platforms and multiple devices. That is what Flutter is meant for. So Flutter supports these all platforms which you are currently seeing on your screen, that is iOS, Android, web, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and even embedded devices. So these platforms are supported by Flutter, and we can develop app from a single code base. That means we are writing the code only one time, and we are getting apps for multiple platform from that. So this is a simple representation of how you can while working for a particular project, if you want to make an application for a single let's say for a single music service, let's say for Spotify or Geo7, you are making project and you want to develop an application for both Android and iOS, then you have to maintain two different projects for both of these platforms, and you are required to have the knowledge of native app development. In case of Android, you are required to know Java or Kotlin, and in case of iOS, you are required to know Objective C and Swift. So you are required so there is a requirement of two different kind of developers having the background of different technologies. So you are investing your time and money both in developing the apps for two different platforms. Now consider the case where we are using Flutter. So when we are using Flutter for developing multi-platform applications, we are only maintaining a single project, and we are only required to learn only a single technology, because ultimately it will give us two different applications for two different platforms whenever we want. So this is the magic and power of Flutter. Like, you can get different applications for different platforms just by writing code one time. Now, this was about how Flutter is. This was the basic thing about Flutter. But when Flutter was being built, these five things were kept in mind while building Flutter. So first thing is, it is fast. What it means is that Flutter code compiles to appropriate machine codes. In case of web it is compiled to appropriate JavaScript code for fast performance for any kind of device. So it is faster than other frameworks which are currently available in the market. Second is productive. That means Flutter supports fast reload. Basically, Flutter supports hot reload. And what is hot reload? Hot reload means if you made some changes or you updated your code, and you can see those changes almost instantaneously without losing any data or state of the app. Now consider for an example, like you are working with simple web development, like using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and you made some changes in your HTML, CSS, or JavaScript file. Now to see those changes, you are required to reload the page, and any data which is saved inside your form. If you are making a form, then any data you have written inside the form will get lost. This is what is happening inside uh, basic simple web development. But this is not with the case of Flutter, because it supports hot reload. And third is beautiful and interactive applications. So you can develop beautiful and interactive applications because you have the power to control everything which is present on the screen. Every pixel on the screen you can control and customize with your interest, your designs. So the only limit here will be your imagination. And fourth is it is open. That means there is a very huge community of developers out there who are working with this platform because it is open source. So you can also contribute to many projects out there which are made using Flutter, and even you can contribute to Flutter's code base also. So it is open, and it is portable too. That means if you are currently working on Windows and you want to switch to another platform such as Linux or Mac OS or even Chrome OS, you can easily migrate to uh, different platforms, because ultimately project will be compiled based on the output you want. If you want Android, then you will have Android Studio. If you have iOS, you can develop it iOS apps using Mac only. So the problem with iOS is that okay, this is a very interesting thing, that you can only develop iOS apps if you have a Mac book or Mac product. That is the problem with iOS, because you cannot develop Mac applications or iOS applications using Windows or Linux devices. So these were the 5 foundational pillars of Flutter. Harshil, am I going too fast? Hello.
No, it's fine, I guess.
Uh, okay, then let's continue ahead. So as I said, it is designed to be fast. That means uh, also you can create powerful real-time animations using Flutter, which will run at almost at 60 frames per second, and which is quite good for a mobile device or an application. So take the speed limiter of your app using Flutter. Then it is productive. As I mentioned earlier, it is productive. That means you develop while you are running your application. Now, as you can see on the screen, this is an like a GIF you can see on the screen. On the left side of this, there is a window of VS Code, and on the right side, there is an application running in an emulator. Now, as you can see, that the developer is updating the code. That you can see here he changed it the code, and he's saving it, and the changes are reflected almost instantaneously without losing the data that number of times he has tapped the button. So this is hot reload, which I have mentioned earlier. So this is quite good feature. Then you can develop beautiful applications. As you can see in the preview here, this is a very beautiful application, and Flutter gives us the power and ability to develop these kind of applications, these kind of user interfaces also. And it is open, that means everything is free and available on GitHub. It is open source. If you are interested in contributing to open source projects, you can also contribute to Flutter, or you can also contribute to its code base. So if you are, if you think you can do it, then obviously you should do it. It's a very good thing. And now that Flutter, that this was all about like what is Flutter, why Flutter, and everything. Uh, most and Flutter is very much popular among different companies also. Like for example, as you can see here, there are very famous names here like Alibaba.com, and then ByteDance, Tencent, even Kotak, uh, Philips Hue, Toyota. So these are very famous companies who are using Flutter, currently using Flutter for their applications. Like there is a very famous application which we use in our daily lives, which is Google Pay. So Google Pay is also made in Flutter. Basically, back in 2019, until then they were using uh, native app development for Google Pay, but they migrated in 2019. They migrated from that to Flutter, and currently the globally Google Pay uses Flutter as its you know for development of the app. They use Flutter. And one of the key feature of Flutter is everything is a widget. Okay, this is not this is if you don't get what is widget and what I will try to explain in upcoming slide, then don't worry, because this will be covered in the part where I will teach you Flutter from scratch. So don't worry. But if you have a background in Flutter already, or if you know any web framework such as React, Angular, or any other framework, then you might know about components. So it is very similar to that those components which we use in React and other frameworks, web frameworks. So everything which you see on the screen is a widget. Now consider this example. Like as you can see, this application, this is a very simple application, and there on the left side of the screen there is this is a screenshot, and the rectangular part, that is everything you see on it, whether it is the background, that is the rectangular part of this application, or this app bar, or this button, or even this icon, this text, everything is a widget. And when you develop this kind of application, or when you develop any other application in Flutter, you will get this kind of widget tree. Like there will be a parent widget, and inside that parent widget there will be a child widget, and it can also have multiple children. Like parent widget can have multiple children also. So this is what you will see when we will start developing application in Flutter. So this was a little sneak peek about what is a widget, and we will cover widgets in much more detail also. So don't worry. So these were all about what is Flutter and why should you use Flutter. Now let's jump to the question: how can you use Flutter, or how can you learn Flutter? This is the most basic thing. So Flutter uses a programming language called Dart, and Dart, uh, you write everything in Dart. If you are developing any Flutter application, you will write code in Dart only. So let's get a little bit background about Dart. So Dart is a programming language which was developed by two engineers at Google. Their main aim was to get a replacement for JavaScript inside web browsers. And basically, it first appeared in October 2010, and its first version was released in 2013. And it is an object-oriented programming. It is a class-based programming language, and its syntax is very much similar to C language or any other language you see in today's, today you will find many popular languages such as Python or JavaScript. You will find quite a similar syntax. So if you have any background in programming, that would be very good. And if you, even if you don't know any programming, that is totally fine, because we will start from scratch. In the next session which we will conduct will be about Dart itself. So we will cover all those concepts uh, which are required for developing any Flutter application. So don't worry, even if you don't know any language, that's fine. We'll cover everything from scratch. So these were the points regarding what, why, and how. Now let's uh, move to the topic: how can you install Flutter on your own system? So this is a slide which tells you the system requirements which you should have. So you must have operating system Windows 7 or later 64-bit operating system, and I'm sure most of you will have Windows 10 installed on your system. And the second thing is you must have at least 1.64 GB of disk space. Remember, this is not the total disk space which you are required to have. This is just for Flutter only. And these are the tools, that is Windows PowerShell and Git. You must have these installed on your system. So if you have Windows 10, then you don't have to worry about anything, because PowerShell is already installed in your system. And you must install Git if you don't have Git installed on your system. So just Google Git download, and you will get every instruction how to install Git on your system. Then the next thing which you are required to do is to download the Flutter SDK. You have to download the latest version of the Flutter SDK, latest stable version of the Flutter SDK. So now I will show you. Actually, I will show you the steps of how you can install Flutter on a Windows device. So even if you don't have any Windows device, like if you are running, if you have a MacBook, or if you have a Linux system, then also you will find steps very similar, and everything is provided inside the documentation. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible? Hello.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So let me go to Flutter's website, that is, which is flutter.dev. So this is the website of Flutter. You will find everything related to Flutter here. So we are going to see the steps to install Flutter. So just click on get started, and it will redirect you to the installation part of the documentation. And one more thing, whether you are learning Flutter or any new technology, you must refer to its documentation, because documentation will provide you clear overview about what is what and how you can learn it. Rather than visiting videos, you can spend some time with documentation, and you can play around with all the codes they are providing, and you can learn in this way also. So I recommend you to visit documentation at least one time uh, for any technology, and I will recommend you to visit the Flutter documentation also. So I'm currently using Windows system, so I'll visit this Windows. And then, as you can see, these system requirements are already mentioned here, and I have also copied this requirements from here. I just download this zip file, Flutter Windows zip file. Just click on this, and the download will start. Actually, I have already downloaded this, so I will not download it again. So let me just open the folder where I have downloaded it. So here I have downloaded this stable version. Just extract it. So I will extract it here. Now, as it is a very big file, it is around 891 MB. So make sure you have a good amount of internet with you, because it will take around 900 MB to download this SDK only. So it will take some time. So let's see other parts of the documentation. Then we will, when it gets installed, we will continue it. So it's saying that we have to extract the zip file and we have to place it to our desired location. So you can place it anywhere you want. Once the that extraction is completed, we are required to update our path and everything. So I'll show you how you can do it on your own system. Meanwhile, you can, if you have Git installed on your system, you can also use git clone command to clone it directly from GitHub. So just open your terminal, PowerShell or whatever you have installed, and copy this command and paste it onto the terminal. Okay, just a minute. Okay. It will take 30 seconds. So yeah, this is how you can do it. So once the extraction is completed, we are required to update our environmental path variable inside our environment variables. So to open it, you have to search environment variables inside your start menu and click on this. Then a window will open, and this window this window will open system properties. And here you have to click on environment variables, and you have to update the path of the system variable. So just scroll down, you will find a variable named as path. You have to double click on it, and then you have to click a new to add a new path. So once the extraction is complete, okay, it's completed. Okay, wait a minute. Yep. Okay, it's completed now. So just go inside the Flutter, and you have to copy this, I think, yes, this bin. Okay, you have to where you have to navigate, you have to navigate inside this folder and go to the bin folder. Once you reach this place, you have to copy the location from here, and just copy the location and go and click and go to the environment variables and add a new path variable here. So just click on new. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, just click on new and paste here. Actually, I have Flutter installed on my system already. So as you can see, I have this bin path already set up here. So I have already installed it. You just need to create a new path variable, and once you are done with it, uh, once you are done with it, you have to, if you have to open your PowerShell or any other console, and you have to write. If you are using command prompt, then you have to write where flutter and where space flutter space dart. And if you are using PowerShell, then you have to write where dot exe flutter and dart. Okay. Once you execute this command, you will see the location where this flutter and dart are installed. So make sure you get the appropriate location after setting up the path variable. After this is done, you have to run this command called flutter doctor. So basically what this command will do is that uh, it will check if any platform dependencies are missing to complete the setup. So right now you have to and write this command inside the command prompt or PowerShell. It will take some time to execute it, because it will check everything, every requirement. So as an example, you can see here that wait a minute. Yeah. So let's wait until this. Okay, so it has been executed. So you can see Flutter is present inside my system. Then Android SDK is present inside my system. and I don't have a Chrome installed on my system. Because I use Microsoft Edge and it is better than Chrome. So I don't have Chrome installed in my system. And then I have Android Studio installed my system. I have IntelliJ IDEA installed my system, VS Code, and yeah. So these are the requirements. So if you don't have Android Studio installed on your system, then you will get a error message regarding that Android Studio is not it is missing, or Android SDK is not present, is missing from your command line. So for that, you are required to install Android Studio, because Android Studio is one of the core component for developing Flutter applications. So when you will scroll down on this page, you will find a link for Android Studio, for the website of Android Studio. So just download it, and once it completes the download, you have to install it. And the installation start, you have to select these things, that is Android SDK command line tools, and Android SDK build tools, because with these only you can develop Android apps. If you are developing Android application using Flutter, then these three tools are necessary for that. Once you have installed these three tools, you have to again run flutter doctor command, because when you will run it, you will you will see that Android Studio is present or not. It will tell you that it is detecting Android Studio or not. So you have to run it, and if the Flutter cannot locate it, then you have to run this command. That is this entire command, and in here you have to paste the uh, location of your Android Studio. So obviously, I will share this link with you. Like, you can also visit by yourself when you are configuring it, because everything is mentioned clearly which step you have to follow, and if what error, if you get any error, you can also find the solution here, because they have mentioned everything here. So once you are done with Android Studio installation, you you can okay, let's move to the editor part. Then we will see about the Android emulator and how you can run Android code in that. So you have choices for multiple choices for your editor, and I will recommend you to use Visual Studio because it is a lightweight editor, and you can easily develop and debug your Flutter application in Visual Studio Code. So just download the latest stable version of Visual Studio Code from this link, which is mentioned here, or you can search it on Google also. Once it has been installed, just open this Visual Studio Code. Once it is open, go to the extension on your left side. You will see this toolbar. Click on extensions and search for Flutter here. So once you have searched for Flutter, you will see an install button here. You just have to click it, and you will start installing that Flutter plugin for Visual Studio Code. And once it is done, you are good to go. Means you can use Visual Studio Code for the development of Flutter applications. Now, as I said earlier, you can run Android. Um, you can you can execute, or you can run the application on your physical device as well as on an emulator. So I will recommend you to use physical device, because emulators are very resource heavy, and if you don't have a very good system with you, then it will create a very much problem, because nowadays you will get 8 GB of RAM, and still it is not enough for any project. So I will recommend you to use your own physical device, and it will be very much easier for you uh, when you are using your own physical device. So I will show you how you can set up your physical device. So okay, let me just share my device's screen. You can see. Okay, first of all, this SCRCPY is a open source tool. Basically, it will copy your Android still, or it will mirror, or it will cast your Android screen using USB uh, on your system. So you can just search for SCRCPY and you will find the GitHub link here, and you can use it because whenever you are developing any application in future, uh, you will it is not feasible to like pick up your phone and try everything on your phone and then uh, changing your code. So you what you can do is you can download this SCRCPY tool, and then you the same way we have added the uh, path of the Flutter in the environment variable. You can also add the path of this application or this tool to your uh, environment variable, path variable of environment variables, and you can use this when you connect your device. So what was I saying that when you have what first time when you will connect your device to your system, you are required to enable your developer options. So to do that, go to about phone and then multiple times click on build number. As it's saying, as this is saying that I am already a developer. So when you will tap multiple times here, the developer options will get enabled. Once it is enabled, uh, go to developer options and then click on USB debugging. Once it is done, you are good to go. You can use your own physical device while running applications. So this is how you can use your own physical device while um, running while developing your Flutter applications. So yeah, this is pretty much it. Uh, if from my side about how, what, why, and how is you can use Flutter, and I request you all to install Flutter on your systems. And if you are going to use your physical devices, then you must install SCRCPY tool and enable developer options on your phone, so that whenever we will start developing Flutter application, we will not waste any much time in setting up our environments. And if you have any query regarding the installation steps, you can just message inside the GDSC group, and we will be happy to help you. So this I conclude my presentation. So if you have any queries or in doubt, you can ask. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Guys, if you have any questions or queries or any kind of doubts, and you are feel free to ask or write it in a chat box also.
This is not some kind of classroom session where I am just speaking. If you have any query, you can ask me. Hello. I think either all of you got everything I told you, or okay. Um, Harshit, I guess they don't have any doubt.
Yeah, so I have pasted the feedback form link in the chat. Let us know that how the session was useful for you, and will you participate in the Flutter show? And yeah, two more announcement from my side is one is we will be organizing one interview preparation and resume building sessions on the 12th March, 10:30 to 12:30, in which the HR industrial expert of the some famous company will be joining us to understand to teach us that how the resume will be built, or how interviewer will see your resume. And the second announcement is the new GDSE lead application is started. Yeah, so if you want to become the future GDSE lead, then please contact me or DM me in WhatsApp, or we can meet in person as well, because I am currently in Rajkot. So we can meet in a college as well. And for the Flutter show, we can organize the offline sessions and workshops also. So let us know your interest about what you want to prefer. You want to prefer it by offline mode or in the online session. Let us know in a DM or feedback form also. I will be sharing the same feedback form link in our WhatsApp group and other social medias. You can fill it in there also. And meanwhile, if you have any questions or queries regarding the Flutter Festival, then you are feel free to ask. Else, the session is uh, over. You can leave.
Harshil, I want to say something.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
please.
so we will organize that, you know, I was this Dart language is used for Flutter, right? So we will organize the workshop about the basics of Dart language in the next week. Either it will be offline or online. When once it is confirmed, we'll let you know. So yeah, I request you all to join in that session also, and upcoming sessions also, and I request you to encourage your friends also to join these sessions, because I hope that these next sessions will be offline sessions, because uh, this offline sessions would be very much fun in doing, and also interact it will be interactive also. So yeah, that this was I want to say. So let's conclude this session. So thank you all for joining this session. See you in the next episode, and stay tuned, and good night. Thanks for joining.